Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Bruce Lee. There are so many weird things about me, but probably the weirdest one that you probably couldn't have guessed by looking at me is I actually did martial arts for 5 years. And I actually got a lot of lessons from martial arts that apply into my day-to-day life, whether that's in presentations or really life in general. That's exactly why in this week's episode of Master Talk, even if I'm not really anything compared to Bruce Lee, I'm going to teach you everything I learned from martial arts that apply to any presentation. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing amazing. Brenden from Master Talk here, your go-to channel to mastering your talk. And today we're covering the 3 lessons that I learned from martial arts that apply to any presentation. So let's get into it. Number 1, belt tests create an environment of relentless focus that apply in any area of life. Here's the goal, or here's the gist. Whenever I walked into a karate room or a session or a workshop, every couple of months, the sensei would look at us and say, "These are the following students that have been selected to be a part of the next belt. Brenden, now it's time for your yellow belt test. Brenden, now it's time for your orange belt test." And the interesting part about these tests is it required a relentless amount of focus because you didn't want to be the guy who didn't pass the test. Imagine spending all of those months getting ready for this belt exam and going through the exam and not getting the belt and having to be embarrassed and humiliated that, yeah, I'm the only one who didn't pass. So weeks before an exam, I would train relentlessly with my cousins. We would get ready, do a bunch of punches, kicks, and mentally prepare ourselves for our exams. And that applied for every single belt I got all the way up to almost the last one that I achieved in karate. And this applies really well to presentations because it helps you develop the presentation mindset. When you've done martial arts for as long as I have, you don't just think of presentation as just another thing to do. Oh yeah, I got a presentation tomorrow, so I'm just gonna write stuff up and hope for the best. No. Presentations become a lot more important and serious. You say, well, everything in my life is like a belt test, so I'm gonna prepare weeks and months in advance to make sure that every little detail, every little quirk, every little element is designed in a way to make my presentation, and more specifically, the people listening to them, obsess over my ideas and what I have to share with them. Number 2, you have to earn your wins in karate, which means that when you actually do win, you believe you can do anything. What was interesting about karate and most styles of martial arts, whether it's judo or taekwondo, is every single belt test has a theme. So for instance, my orange belt test was about defeat. It didn't really matter how we performed in the exam. What the instructors did at the end is we would all sit down, they would all tell us that we failed the exam. And obviously you can tell how frustrated it was to have spent all those weeks to have said you didn't win. And as we were walking out of the dojo, they would give us our orange belt and then sit us back down and say, in life, you're going to lose a lot of times. So when you do win, acknowledge that there was a lot of things out of your circumstance that made you get the result, but also savor those wins because it'll help you celebrate the others. And my blue belt test was about determination. They put us through such an excruciatingly painful process that most people actually dropped out of karate after the blue belt. And it was to show us that if you can pass the blue, you can get your black belt. Right? So every single aspect of karate had a win, had a lesson to it. And as I progressed over the belts until I went all the way to the top, I learned that every single win that I'll have throughout my life is not given. I need to earn it. I need to put the effort in, and I need to prepare 10 times more than the next person to get the exact same result. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to start taking presentations more seriously. In the same way that you're so passionate about canoeing, about fashion, about anything that you love, we need to transition that obsession, that passion we have, into all areas of life. And if we can do that, we don't need to do martial arts. We can just apply that obsessiveness to everything that we do. And number 3, my favorite, is it forces you to answer the hard questions in life and develop a resilience and a strong value system. If I were to describe martial arts in one sentence, it's a journey of self-discovery. As you go about the different belts that you have, at the beginning, it's more of an ego thing. Oh, I want to get to the next belt. I want to achieve the next milestone so I can impress my friends that I'm a green belt or that I'm a blue belt. But as you progress through the style and the different levels of karate, you start to realize that karate has nothing to do with the belt, but rather everything to do with the lessons that you learn throughout life. So what does this mean for presentations? It means that the lessons that we learn allow us to have a clear understanding of why we're presenting in the first place. I always tell everyone, and I really believe this, public speaking is 100% coachable. I was terrible. But the reason most people don't master public speaking isn't because they're not good, but rather because they don't have a reason to share something that actually matters to the world. If you have the best speaking ability, but your mission is poor, let me tell you, your presentation is going to be poor because your mission is weak. But if you have a strong reason for doing something, a strong value system, something that really speaks to people and something you really want to share, then you'll be an exceptional presenter because you're not doing it for ego anymore. You're doing it because you want to help other people. And those are the people that I'm proud to help every single day to master the art of public speaking. If you're one of those people and you're watching this video right now, I guarantee you don't need a karate lesson. What you need is the belief system to know that your message matters. As famous Bruce Lee once said, don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Life isn't meant to be easy. That's why I'm so grateful from the experiences I had in martial arts, because it gave me the discipline to do anything else in life, whether it was university, education, or even this video right now. And if you can develop that resiliency, that discipline to say this message matters, I need to give it, you won't need a karate lesson. All you'll need is the realization that your why matters and that your public speaking skills can be shared with the world. As always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of Master Talk, be sure to smash that like button and also share this with a friend if you enjoyed as well. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.